Hello and happy 2024. Today is the 1st of January 2024 as I'm making this video. And today I'm going to be talking about the cycles and giving more information about where we are on these various cycles and how they all tie in together. I'm going to be doing a new moon workshop this year, and this time I'm opening it up to men and women, and it's going to be based in Naples, Florida, in this very tent that I'm in, so on my land. And of course, the focus is going to be with that new moon energy on setting an intention and then working with a synergetic group of like-minded people who want to release the old patterns and stories in order to integrate the new code that is coming in. And so these circles are going to be about sharing some information. Most importantly, they're going to be about tapping. I'm also intending to do other workshops in other locations. And of course, these will also be available on Zoom. So you can join wherever you are in the world and connect to your tribe. The tribe that I belong to is the Red Earth tribe. Red Earth, White Wind, Blue Hand, and Yellow Human. And this tribe is about creating new pathways. And so the information that I share is about transformation. I'm a blue solar hand. And my first workshop will be coming up in my wave spell on January the 13th. So Saturday, January the 13th, and it will be at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So more details of that to follow, and I will do a separate video for that. Just wanted to send that out there today on this very first day. So I've been watching lots of different astrology and different programs, and I love this time of year because for me it is that Christ consciousness, awareness, what we tune into, what we're going to be working with, and just seeing all the symbolism at the dark time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. And of course, we've had the winter solstice and the light is now returning. And today we are in waning moon, and the moon at 11 a.m., which is the time that I tend to choose between 11 and 1, is the heart meridian. So it's what's coming in to change the heart, to heal the heart. And it was at 13 degrees of Virgo, which is a strong code in my chart. So check that out in yours if you know your degrees, and in particular if you've got moon in Virgo as well. Moon in Virgo is a very particular sign known for fastidiousness, I would say, Virgos, often using their mind and aiming for perfection. And this can often lead to being stuck if we stay too much in that groove. So, of course, Sun in Capricorn we have, and another earth sign, taking the small steps, being disciplined, are very important to balance this out as well. So, as well as thinking, making plans, and you may have made some New Year resolutions as well, common at this time of year, it's also really important to feel into it. So me and my family have been doing lots of tapping and again looking at specialists in their field, what they have to share. It's going to be a big year because it's a year number 8. If you add the numbers 2024 together, you get number 8. And also the year that it is in the Mayan dream spell is Red Galactic Skywalker. So I'm just going to show you the calendar. And what I'm going to try and do, I know for some people who are watching this, they'll know about the Mayan calendar and they'll be familiar with the language. For other people, I try and do a Philosopher's Stone, Rosetta Stone conversion into our regular calendar, which is known as the Gregorian calendar, which most of the, for want of a better word, developed world follow. Okay, so we're here, and day 8, Red Skywalker. Red Skywalker is the 13th Mayan sign. There are 20 Mayan signs. And the 13th sign is the magical number, of course. It's all about the cosmic shift of the human being who is ready to change their patterns and their codes. And in my understanding, so since 2007, I've been working with energy therapies. Emotional freedom technique is my mainstay, and anyone watching my videos will know that I always say we need to tap every day on what's coming up and get clear. We have 13 clear signs within this, which are on the sarcophagus of Pakal Votan in the Temple of Inscriptions, which was discovered in 1952. And again, this ties into a key date, which I'll come back to in a moment. And so what this basically is about is understanding there are only 260 human being stories that we're all here to work through, understand, and integrate. And the codes that our ancestors have been following have been full of trauma and have caused problems in the code, which again, if you look at that on a bodily level of yellow human, which is yellow human, which is a 12th mind sign, the structure of us. Yellow humans get sick because their code in their cells does something that doesn't align with health for all sorts of different reasons. But the basic reason, I believe, is due to emotional trauma. And of course, this can show up as well in the environment. And more now, human beings are becoming ill because they need to get clear about what is healthy and good for human beings. So this code was yesterday, and as you can see here, we have a portal day, which is always an Akashic record day. So yesterday will have been instrumental for you around what was resonating. It was yellow resonant human. What was resonating for you as a human being? What felt good? What didn't feel good? What experiences came into your holograph, into your larger cell, if you like, that we're all parts of? We're here on planet Earth to play out a human evolution story. We all have a role, we all have a soul, we all have a star system that we can learn about and use our natal chart to navigate the pathway. We can use this so that we know what's coming up every day. We can go deeper and deeper with this. This is mind-blowing. I'm in my 13th year of working with this experientially every day. And it's about getting us off the old ways. It's about aligning with the galaxy, the galactic code, the place that we're heading towards, so that we become well, we become whole, we live our passion and our purpose, and we remember and be the star that we really are and know why we're here. And first and foremost, we know that in our hearts, how that makes us feel. So behind me is a circular version of the Zolkin, and you can see in the middle, it's like a little jigsaw puzzle. It's just mind blowing. The more that you go into this, you lose any doubts about our divinity and our sacredness and why these tools were created at this very, very difficult time. And of course, it has to be difficult because all our fears are being projected outwards onto the world. The Skywalker energy that we're in today, however, the Skywalker is a prophecy, is the foretelling, and again, it's comparable in some ways to a lot of these divinity teachings about a being that came, Christ, for example, who came to save humankind. So these parables have been going on for thousands of years. Just watched a really interesting documentary on Netflix, Ancient Apocalypse, by Graham Hancock, and check it out. There's some amazing, interesting information on there that I wasn't aware of about sacred sites and ancient sites. And he has some very interesting perspectives as to how some so-called experts do tend to get stuck in the narrative, as we all do, because the only way we can really change our narrative is on a deep level inside and start to really rewire our belief system, firstly by healing our trauma so that we can feel safe to explore different belief systems and be open to what the universe is bringing us now. Otherwise, we just tend to stay stuck on the same track and live in a hell space of our own making. Because remember, the universe can only bring you what you believe to be true. So the way that we can help the way change and be a planetary server is to begin with ourselves and look at rewiring ourselves first. Okay, so the Skywalker, Quetzalcoatl, is the one in the Mayan, and there's lots of different names and different effigies of this energy throughout these ancient places in the world, which is why I'm recommending that program to watch if you haven't seen it already. And he offers very interesting perspective on the serpent. My perspective on that is a different one. There's some shared things around what he says, but for me, in this and in terms of a healing modality, which is where I'm coming from, it's about the serpent of Kundalini going up the spine, which is again what this is. This is a DNA key which can unlock the secrets of our universe by unlocking ourselves. So, in terms of the cycle, so everything is about 13 in this calendar, and that compared to the Gregorian calendar is the magic. Sorry, I just had to stop the video there because I was choking on my incense of Abramelin that I had lit. Okay, so before I go to the cycles, just wanted to share the cards that I drew for today. So follow your passion. What are you really into? What's your heart's desire? This is where the spirit comes in. It's about the feelings. The feelings tell us everything. Don't believe the majority of what your head tells you because it will lead you astray. It's designed to keep you safe, and so it constantly goes back into old ways, whether they've worked or not worked for you. it just keeps the familiar. And again, you can see this as a Virgo mindset in some ways. Okay, so you can see there's a cross on there, and this is key in the astrological chart, your stairway to heaven. And again, so this is in the fourth house. What you've got in your fourth house, which is the bottom of the stairway to heaven, then this is your midheaven. This is key to right now, because today, using Christopher Witecki's system, we're in step 10 of Capricorn, the heart's desire, the 10th house, the midheaven. And so what you've got there in your chart is good to know, because that's where you are heading for on one level. Then you've got your rising sign here and your descending sign here. So the consciousness that you're looking to embody and what you're looking to let go of here. And so Capricorn, step 10 in the Mayan, that is white dog. That's a 10th. And the heart's desire, again, Sirius star, the huge star, the bright star, the soul journey becomes more and more accessible. Guidance becomes more available as we heal our ancestral patterning and we step into unconditional love, let go of those conditions. And again, it's difficult to put into words because there's so much more to the process than that. But the simple thing about EFT is every day you have an experience and you have things that feel good in a healthy way and things that don't feel good. And the things that don't feel good are the key place to focus on. Because the stuff that feels good, we're okay with that. The stuff that doesn't feel good is showing us these old patterns, these old codes, this stuckness. And if we're ready to go there and feel it, we can heal it. We can release this energy out of our system and we can change our behavior. And it's all wired in together. So it's very important to do the process in the right order as well, so that the behavior, when you make these resolutions, if there's something there in your emotional mind that is attached to an unhealthy behavior because it stops you from feeling, for example, it makes you feel safe in some way, for example, then that needs to be healed before you can allow a new system to come in place. So it's very, very important to know this stuff. Now, I picked cards. This is the order that they came out. I picked 8. So again, this is my energetic pattern, and but I picked them today with the intention of this workshop as well. So Queen of Cups. So this again is coming into sovereignty with our emotional self, our feminine part of us. And again, EFT is so key to this. Knight of Discs. So being the warrior, really, that's how I see it. Being the warrior for yourself around being grounded and practical and making it happen for yourself. Because that's the key focus. The only thing we can change. Abundance. Lovely card. What feels abundant? Again, that's highly specific to each individual. But generally, now is a time, the astrology is great now for creating abundance. So again, the more that we feel good, because that's connected to the cups. Then came lust, lust for life, Leo energy. And so that's card number 11. Then we've got the science of the mind. So again, these are all Thoth cards. So check these out if you want to know the deeper meaning of these. There is a science to manifestation. There is a science to creating things that we want to create. And we have to learn it. Death, what needs to die in our mindset, in our journey, in our path, in our bones, Capricorn energy, very much. Our bones need to be strong and hold us up. And Three of Discs work, inner work, getting that triangle within us. So letting go of duality through healing is key. And indolence was the last card. So that's Saturn in Pisces. And is it Saturn in Pisces, that one? I'm not sure actually that it is. No, I don't think it is. I think that's a different card. Yes, it's not Saturn in Pisces. I can't remember what it is, but I'll come back to you on that and post it below. Not being lazy, basically, and clearing those cups out is very, very important. Adventurous Quest means it's going to be a year of adventure. So that means we are going to be challenged, because it's often in any mystery school throughout time where the student wanted to become a master of magic, for example, of themselves, of their own personal mystery. In order to understand the greater mystery, they had to go through fear in order to release their mindset. Because when we're in that big state of fear, then we often act from our body and instinct rather than our head. That's one aspect of it. So we become a different person. And again, it's very much like a woman giving birth. You may have all sorts of ideas about how it's going to happen and what you're going to do, but when you're actually immersed in the process, your body takes over and your mind takes second seat to that, and you just got to go with it. So, we're birthing the new earth. That's the thing. And so, major stuff happening over the next month. And so, just to talk about the cycles. So, the cycle of the Gregorian New Year, which is on the 1st of January every year. And again, just do some research on that if you don't know a lot about it. Pope Gregory was the one who brought this cycle in. The current cycle that we're in began in 2017. So think back to where you were then. So that's when it was initiated. It was initiated in White Mirror, and White Mirror is about refinement. So remember, the process is red, white, blue, yellow. Red for awakening, white for refining, blue for transforming, yellow is the manifestation. That's the process. Every 13-day pattern follows that process: red, white, blue, yellow. And we have the castles that begin red, white, blue, yellow. They take us through a process. Finally, though, in the bigger picture of the 260 days, they go into the green castle. So they have an additional colour. But in terms of the 13-year cycles, they all follow the red, white, blue, yellow. And each one of us has a 13-year cycle as well. So the more you know about mapping your own personal 13-year cycle, the more you can work with conscious awareness. Also, we have the 13 moons, and this is very important as well. So we have red magnetic moon begins on the 26th of July every year, and it follows the same pattern. That doesn't change. So each moon has 28 days, and each moon, again, like all the rest of the calendar, goes through a process of 1 to 13. And so in the first moon, which begins on the 26th of July, it's about initiating authenticity, being the beacon of light, going back to who we really are rather than who we've been told we are, who we've been conditioned to believe we are. And so white mirror, at this time, 1st of January, we got to moon 6. So moon 6 is rhythmic moon. So we're getting into the rhythm of being authentic and being the beacon of light, to put it simply. And that's the same every year, 1st of January, it's moon 6, day 20. So it's moving towards the end of the 28 days. And so moon 6 always begins on the 13th of December and it ends on January the 9th. That stays the same. And so day 20 is Capricorn, the 10th step. So we're seeing what's manifest, as I said earlier. Hope you're keeping up with all the dates and the language so far, but you can always go back and recheck. Okay, so think back to what you were doing in 2017. How are you changing what was reflected back at you? How are you becoming the sword of truth? Because that's what white mirror is. And it's twinned with red dragon, which is the initiating #1 Mayan sign, what the Great Mother is bringing us for our conscious evolution, and how we let go of our survival issues, our distortions, our cellular programming around emotional trauma, ancestral patterning that's no longer serving us. So now we're in year 8 and we're going to be integrating. Now, whenever we get into an integration day or an integration moon or an integration year, then we are going to be looking at the previous 13 days or the previous moon, 28 days, or the previous 13-year cycle. So each one of these cycles has 52 years. Okay, so again, those who've worked with me on a one-to-one level are familiar with this. So each one of these colours has 4 wave spells of 13 days or 4 wave spells of 13 years. And so the red one in red dragon is in red, awakening. That's a 52-day cycle. Then we go into the white, which is led by red Skywalker, and that's a 52-day or year cycle, and so on and so on. I'm not going to go into too much depth on that. So we're currently in the red Skywalker 52-day cycle. So we're going to be integrating over this 13-year cycle that began in 2017, that we're in year 8 of, the red Skywalker cycle that began on the 1st of January in 2004 until 2016. So if you think about what was happening to you then, how you were awakening to what was hell in your life, how you were awakening to what was heavenly in your life, what your passion is, and probably making a huge shift. Now, in 2004, when that was initiated, we had a huge Venus transit, which was a once in a lifetime experience. Nobody on the planet at that point would have seen it before or will see it again in their lifetime. So again, check that out if you want to know more information. It's amazing stuff. The Earth, Venus, and the Sun align, and that's only happens twice in a century. But that one was a particularly special one. So the last time that happened was 1882. And that was on the 8th of June 2004. So again, if you know what you were doing there, great. And some people do, they write that down and they know. Think back to what was happening to you back then. So the previous cycle of Red Skywalker, which is, again, I said that I would mention earlier on, was in 1952. So that's the year that Pakal Votan, the tomb, the Temple of Inscriptions in Palenque, was discovered. And so Red Skywalker was 1952 to 1964, which means that White Mirror was from 1965 to 1977. 1977 is a big year astrologically because that's when Chiron was discovered. And year 8 of that cycle was 1972. So if you were born in that period, then your mission here is going to be about refining the holograph. And so the more that you know about your wave spell, for example, so again, my wave spell is in the Red Skywalker Refinement White Castle. And so that's why I'm here, is to really work with that. And as a blue solar hand, which is the 9th day of Blue Storm, I am here to help people understand how they can shape their destiny through emotional healing, which is why I do the work that I do, and particularly on myself, of course. So hope you're still there with me so far. So year 8 of the Red Skywalker that we were in was 2011. And that was the recent one. That was Yellow Galactic Star. So you think what you were doing in 2011, because that was the last year before the 2012 codes kicked in. So again, the Skywalker is the disciple, is the human being who's going to remember that we're a conduit, and the more clear that we get here, our codes literally change on a cellular level. And very excited about lots of stuff I'm exploring on health here in Naples, what's been popping up, and with the people that I've been meeting. So, and I will do a video on that in the future. So remember, everybody who is in our circle is part of our prima materia of how we work to transform by the work that we do, the way we lead our life, the way that we show up every day, the way that we interact with people. That in itself is intrinsic to the shift. And if you're passionate about sharing healing modalities, for example, then that also is very powerful. If you're passionate about sharing how to grow food, which I'm meeting lots of lovely people who are so generous with their time. And again, I know that I'm meant to be here because the things that I'm going to be working with wouldn't have worked in the UK. And that's what I'm meant to be working on, which is why I'm here, because it's a different climate, it's a different energy, it's a different way of creating heaven on earth in a totally different environment. And So it's where we feel drawn to go. You know, there's no good or bad thing around that. It's just trusting the process. And things always pop up for me on Facebook that remind me of where I thought I was going to be going. And then the universe said, no, you're going to be going somewhere else. Okay, so that's the Skywalker energy. And we also have, remember all of these things, and again, going back to the film that I've just watched, the documentary rather, Ancient Apocalypse, you can see where all of these places are connected to the cycles of the sun and how the light shines through at these sacred places where people have always come together to celebrate something greater than themselves in a sense, but that they're also part of. We're all part of this together. So also I have included find it. Okay, so also I've included the other cycles, and I have got some of this on my website, flowwithjo.com. I've over the years I've written different blogs about what I've discovered as and when I've discovered them. So the Mayan New Year begins on the 26th of July every year. That spiral is a planetary cycle, and it's about planetary change. So the planetary change tribe is Red Moon, White Wizard, Blue Storm, and Yellow Seed. And again, if you add all those numbers together, so Red Moon is number 9, the Mayan sign, White Wizard's number 14, Blue Storm's number 19, and Yellow Seed's number 4. That comes to 46, which equals 10, which is White Dog. When you work with these energies of authenticity, empowerment, learning how to heal your emotions so you can stand in your center, and being the star seed, being a master of releasing this new information, then you are connecting to the White Dog soul tribe and releasing the ancestral patterning tribe. So we're currently in a 13-year cycle of White Wizard, which began in 2019. We're currently on year 5, White Overtone Wizard. This, of course, will change in 2024, and we will go into a year 6, Blue Rhythmic Storm. So getting into the balance of our emotions. So it's going to be a powerful year for that, you know, in the second half. So on July 26th, we're going to be going into a blue year. And so again, you can connect it to the moon time now of rhythmic. So what we're working with now, what we've been processing over this time of year of Christmas and Hanukkah and lots of different festivals at this time of year around the light returning as well. A time when people come together as family, and that can be challenging as well. So lots of things to work with popping up. So this 52-year cycle of Red Moon began in 2006 till 2018. And then before that, it was 1954 till 2005. So White Wizard, the 13-year cycle that we're in, actually began 1967 till 1979. So it's interesting that we have these 13-year cycles coming together and they're slightly overlapping. So again, it's just seeing that. So also with the same pattern is the autumn equinox, and that begins on the 23rd of September. And again, this is in the northern hemisphere. So red crystal Skywalker is the year that we're in. That is in a different moon, of course, moon 3. So the electric moon, the time for alchemy on day 4. And so remember, with the autumn equinox, we're going down into the underworld. The light starts to get less, and it's time for inner work. It's time to rest and reflect back on what was happening during the summer. And of course, this is in Libra, and this 260-day cycle that we're in now began very close to this in Libra energy, right at the end of Libra energy, though. So this was a 13-year cycle that began in 2012, which is white mirror. And so again, working with the holograph by really focusing on that shadow story. So in terms of another shared pattern, so we've got, as well as I mentioned, the Mayan calendar, the Mayan New Year itself being a planetary energy, so is the summer equinox, and that's in red moon 12, so it's in crystal moon on day 23. So really about focusing on how we get clear about authenticity and being the beacon of light. And we're currently in 2023 blue solar storm, which is year 9 of blue storm, which began in 2015. So again, think back to what you were doing at the summer solstice in 2015. That was a big year for me. That was just before I became 50. And yeah, quite a challenging sequence of events followed that time, which also linked into my personal patterning of Red Skywalker, because that's a very key ancestral pattern for me, Red Skywalker, and my connection with the Mayan dream spell is all linked in with that. In terms of the Christmas spiral, the 25th of December, we have the Red Dragon tribe. White Magnetic World Bridger began on the 25th of December 2023. So we started a new 13-year cycle of what needs to die so that we can live, and really taking action on that, on our survival, so that we can thrive. The 52-year cycle began in 2010. And of course, this is the same as a dream spell, always begins with Red Dragon. And this is currently in Libra. As I said before, on the 21st of October, it began this cycle that we're in at the moment, moon 4, day 4. So the structure of self-existing, how do we become free, emotionally free? When we become emotionally free, we can let go of addictions, for example, coping mechanisms, because we learn, especially with emotional freedom technique, we learn how to come into peace ourselves in a healthy way. It doesn't have a side effect such as comfort eating or drugs or toxic relationship. And so it's really great. Doesn't change the world immediately, but it does change our world and helps us to find a way, no matter what's happening, to be in our center. The more that we work on our center and things that have taken us out of our center, the more we become self-existing. which is the 4th day of every 13-day process. It's the 4th year of every 13-year process. And so, again, if you know this information about yourself and your chart and your Mayan sign and coding, this can be very useful at the moment. Spring equinox is again the same as the Red Dragon tribe. And so, again, survival, what the new mother is bringing us. And white resonant world bridger, which is on moon 9, day 14. So again, this is the solar moon going through the gateway then. This began in 2017. It's a yellow warrior 13-year cycle. And so again, if you think back to what you were doing in 2017, I know I was in a chilly part of the world in Somerset in the UK, and we were on a quest and we were exploring the sacred landscape there. New beginnings, burrow mump. I think we had all of different types of weather in the space of an hour when we were up there. So yeah, very different energy, of course. Okay, so hopefully you're still with me so far on this. I'm just sort of tying all these things together because these are really key times of the year that ancient human beings are gravitating back towards, because these ancient sacred sites are before any sort of religion. They are energy sites in the world. They are healing places. They are places that are part of Gaia, as are we. And we are a plant in many ways, the same as any living being on this earth. And the more that our traumatized personalities create things that are so out of balance for everybody and everything on the earth, then things are just going to get more and more difficult because people are out of alignment with nature, love, peace. Whilst we are experiencing unresolved projections, we just project our fear out there. That's a key shadow of red moon. We engage in all sorts of drama and things that make us feel stressed and ill. And so peace begins with me, and we have the tools, we have the awareness now to do that. So again, just a very quick snapshot of what's coming up in the very near future. So at the moment, we've got lots of direct planets today on the 1st of January. So we've got Mercury direct at 22 degrees, the magic goddess number 22, which is a master builder number. In Sagittarius, our belief system, Sagittarius, experiential knowingness, doingness, ruled by Jupiter, so very expansive energy. And we've got lots of fire still going on there. We have also got Venus in Sagittarius. We have got Mars in Sagittarius at the moment. And so the thought processes can start going ahead now. The messages from our higher selves, and also in the love space, we're looking to be in a maturation process so that we're no longer codependent children. You know, that's one of the fundamental things. What else haven't I mentioned? So Jupiter's gone direct, yes, in the last few days at Taurus of 5 degrees. So that's huge. And we've got until June, I think, around that There's going to be some significant astrology in June coming up. So that's a time really now, go, 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 and start manifesting wealth, health, whatever floats your boat that you're really passionate about, go for it. Be, do, have. That's the key. So we've got to take action, remember, with White World Bridger that we're in at the moment. And this year is all about that because it's the 8th day of White World Bridger. So that's fundamental. We've got North Node is in Aries at 21 degrees. We've got Chiron in Aries, has gone direct now at 15 degrees. So look at all these 5s and 10s and 20s. And so again, anything 20 and above, this is really future potentiality. Saturn's direct at 3 degrees of Pisces. Neptune's direct at 25 degrees of Pisces. And so again, this is about creating structures of co-creation, consciousness, letting go of addictions, finding truth within us and sharing that. Sun and Pluto go into Aquarius on the 20th of January, and that is going to be the yellow human wave spell on that day. I'm pretty sure of that. Let's have a see. So we're on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. Yeah, there we go. Yellow human wave spell. We're going to be on that. So again, I just love how it all combines together. And sorry, I'm losing the light now in the tent, but I'm trying to hurry up. Yes, Sun and Pluto going to Aquarius. That's going to be massive, absolutely massive energy. And so that energy until May is going to be really, really powerful, where we're going to be working on our moon energy, our moon story, our emotional story. And so tapping is a prerequisite, I think. We've just got to do it now, really get tapping on everything. And so I'm wishing you an amazing 2024 of integration. And I hope that you can join me and be a part of my tribe with this new moon energy every month. We're going to be focusing on what we want to manifest, on what we want to create. And of course, in that process, we need to let those beliefs that are no longer serving us come up so we can start to heal and rewire them. It's the most important thing. So lots of love and see you soon. And also, please check me out on Rumble because I am focusing on creating my new videos on there. So please do check that out and spread the word. Lots of love. Bye for now.